Now, Shazam 1 was one of my favourite DC movies. I am biased as I am a huge fan of Zachary Levi, but sadly a few years later, the sequel falls into the traps of modern comic book movies, which, well, is a real shame, making the hero a dummy, forgettable underdeveloped NPC big star villains, and an orgy of bad CGI, not to mention a bloated cast. Like I said, I've been a fan of Zachary Levi since Chuck, and I've hoped the man would have his day for a decade now. Luckily, since the MCU's hard lean into comedy and Ryan Reynolds turbocharging studio's desire for quippy dialogue, he is getting it. Thankfully, Shazam has super strength as Zach really does some heavy lifting this movie. Sadly, the buddy coming-of-age formula is turbocharged into that full family affair that left me not really caring about anyone, and, well, it just felt like an absolute mess at times. Mary Marvel is shown to be the wise and smart one, but shoved aside for a coming-out LGBT story which felt like satire lip service of representation. I am all for representation, but a kid looking at a topless baseball guy, then later saying he's gay, just seems insulting. It seems like literally that SNL parody of Mario Kart where everyone just says they're bisexual. The movie out of the gates is so much fun with the family working together, but the split between Freddie and Billy is hardly serviced as the rest of the ensemble fight to have screen time when the love interest storyline felt weird. As it turns out, she didn't know he was actually a hero. I thought she was going undercover. She's just oblivious. They're supposed to be gods. But anyway, therein lies the problem, as the villains are just there to move the plot forward, and clearly each three of them have their own distinct moral compass, but things move at a breakneck speed. It just felt like that guy in Ant-Man telling a story. The movie wants to tell a friendship-testing story, like when Milhouse gets a girlfriend in The Simpsons, plus Billy scared to lose his family, as well as gods coming in. We have Mary Marvel mirroring Billy's not wanting to grow up there. She desperately wants to go away while he wants to stay there, finally finding a family. And she just sits there hungover at times, and you're just like, what the hell is going on? Why? Just trim this down a bit. Heck, Billy is scared of being aged out of foster care, and Mary says he'll have to go. But then suddenly his dad says he bought the house, and that's that. He barely interacts with his parents at all, which makes a touching moment with his, quote, mother less impactful than it could have been. And the final fight is a total drag as the gods themselves feud over punishing humanity, making the facade of these villains fade away as most of my interest in this movie, because they just felt like copy and paste villains, and like it was lorem ipsum of villains there. It's a shame, as I'd love to have seen some proper flashbacks and develop these Greek gods or the gods or the Titans or whatever they are, but they didn't. We got less story, less development here for one of the kids wanting to feed Skittles to the rainbow and saying, taste the rainbow, who are actually evil. Pause for laughter. Now, the second post-credit shows how much this was really phoned in. I spent the whole time wondering why the wizard was there if he had died. They explained it and whatever. But the Doctor from the first movie is back in an almost copy and paste post-credit scene, which says how much effort was put into the story of this script. I will admit I did smile at Wonder Woman being there, but why did WB spoil that? It's one of the big moments of the movie. Once again, with big characters such as Carol Danvers being out there in Marvel, the Avengers and the Justice League not being present for most of the movie, you wonder, why didn't they turn up to help? At least Peacemaker had a funny thing where they were going to turn up, but they were late. I thought that was really funny. But here, she just turns up at the end and smiles, and especially as these gods have the powers of Zeus, I thought that they would go to Diana for help, and then she would maybe turn up at the end. It's all very inconvenient, and nothing has an impact as it is all undermined. But I do like what they've been brewing in the background with the Suicide Squad, Peacemaker, Black Adam, and now this movie, where we have Amanda Waller's stooges going out and setting up or recruiting to the Justice Society or being involved. And the Justice Society being involved was very cool because Billy Batson was notably a member of the Justice Society. And I thought it was very funny, very meta when he said about confusing the two. But Justice Society carried Black Adam, and I would have been excited to see where this goes. I hope it goes somewhere. It would be nice if this plays into James Gunn's plans moving forward. But sadly, Zachary Levi's funny, absolute brilliant screen presence here could not carry a movie which did not know what it wanted to say, what story it wanted to tell, or didn't really seem interested in that and just wanted funny quips and punches. But that's it for this video. Please drop a like if you enjoyed it, subscribe with notifications on, and I will see you soon for the next movie.